Today, finally, a gatekeeper we can all love. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint, where we won't be talking about GameStop this week.
Oh, is it over?
No, but who the hell knows where it's going, and I don't need to read more conflicting comments about who's actually buying the stock and why for a third week.
Ooh, I have some fun theories.
No. The Fire Emblem fan base really loves gatekeeping, and now he's getting... let me take that again. The Fire Emblem fan base really loves Gatekeeper, and now he's getting his own character in the Fire Emblem Heroes mobile game. Apparently a bit of a meme from Fire Emblem Three Houses, this nameless, faceless piece of castle furniture captured the hearts of the FE community so much that he was voted the winner of the men's division in this year's What Character Will Get a Special Version with New Power-Ups popularity poll. He beat Marth by almost double the votes, but to be fair, Marth is boring, even by Fire Emblem standards. Plus, there's already like 24 Marths in the game. That's an exaggeration. There are like 4 or 5, including one who's actually just pretending to be Marth, but is actually Crom's daughter from the future. I don't have time to get into it. Anyway, now Gatekeeper will be added to the heroes you can spin your way into for the right number of gems, whatever the game's gacha currency is, along with Marianne, who won the women's division of the poll, but Marianne is obviously trashed here because she has things like backstory and eyes.
Activision is being sued over a new Call of Duty character, Mara, by Clayton Haugen, a writer/photographer who alleges that Activision is ripping off his design. How big of a ripoff? Well, here's Mara, and here's Haugen's original character, Kay Janus, which I hope I'm saying correctly because that's not an actual goddamn name any loving parent gives a child. Sure, there's a similarity in her looks, but to be honest, when I first saw these pictures, I thought someone was cosplaying Metal Gear Solid's Quiet, bundling up for winter weather. It seemed like such a generic design that I wasn't convinced that Haugen had a case. That is until I saw the rest of the complaint. See, Cade is the main character from a short story Haugen wrote, and as part of trying to pitch it as a screenplay to movie studios, he hired a model for a photo shoot to use as marketing material. Haugen states in his lawsuit that Activision and Infinity Ward not only hired the same model, Alex Zedra, that Haugen used for Mara, they also hired the same makeup professional and that they, quote, instructed the makeup professional to prepare the talent exactly as she had done for Haugen's Kay Janus photographs. They instructed her to style the talent's hair exactly as she had done for Haugen's Kay Janus photographs, even using the same hairpiece extension, end quote. Furthermore, the model and makeup artists had to sign NDAs, which Haugen alleges were to, quote, conceal their, Activision's, planned infringement, end quote. Also, it looks like one of the Activision's marketing graphics is literally just a doctored photo from Haugen's original shoot. Now that's pretty damning, super crunchy and fun to chew on. Hey, Activision, we get it. Female characters are really hard to make, right? We sympathize. In fact, we did an entire video about it if you need to feel better.
Speaking of Call of Duty, you might be aware Activision's take on the Battle Royale genre, Call of Duty Warzone, has had a lot of cheating problems. And while you only encounter cheaters if you play on PC, or if you're a console player using crossplay, Warzone's cheaters are not only brazen, streaming their hacks, even cheating in major tournaments, they are also incredibly numerous, which is why Activision banned 60,000 of them this week. They also promised that they would be improving the game's anti-cheat software, which is only newsworthy because most people assumed the game didn't have anti-cheat software. It remains to be seen if Activision will still be able to make meaningful progress against the cheaters, but so far their 2021 strategy of banning people who cheat seems to be working better than their 2020 strategy of ignoring the problem and hoping it will go away.
Okay, if any of you had February 2021 for when Google would be shutting down Stadia, you're only half right, so don't try to cash in your ticket. Google Stadia is closing their internal game development studio, citing a desire to deepen their business relationships and seeing an important opportunity to work with partners. And hell, I don't know, maybe Stadia Game Studios is hoping to spend more time with its family or whatever. Based on these quotes about deepening relationships and working with other partners, it actually sounds more like Stadia is trying to convince its girlfriend that maybe they should, I'm just saying, think about it, consider maybe perhaps trying an open relationship. Or maybe they're taking a break. Or Google just wants a threesome. In any case, it's really just the Stadia Game Studios developers that end up getting fucked. Stadia Game Studios hasn't actually produced a single game for Stadia yet, and while it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that Google got its knife out again for another product, we can at least be thankful that it wasn't for an actually successful product.
Finally, a good reason to throw your controller across the room. It's been indiscriminately yelling racial slurs. In the new PS5 game Destruction AllStars, developer Lucid Games have made the, I'm going to be generous and say very bad decision to run the group lobby voice chat through the controller speaker by default, meaning when you join a new match, everybody who's talking nonsense in the lobby, which, if you haven't played online games with a public voice lobby, is a cacophony of young men with their microphones fully inside their mouths, screaming Carlin's words you can't say on television, plus the new DLC pack of full-on slurs you get for free when you pre-order, all pouring out of your controller onto your lap and down your leg into the rug. You can change it, but there's no global option, so every time you join a new match, your controller turns back into a shouting match between the 12 least interesting dudes at the party. Presumably this ought to get patched soon. At least I hope so, because apparently Destruction AllStars is pretty fun once you silence the DualSense gremlins.
My controller talks to me all the time, but it's just Mario's voice.
Oh, yeah, for like Galaxy, sure, yeah.
He keeps telling me to kill people.
What game are you playing?
Animal Crossing?
Beej, you need to move.
Coming up, following a surprising demand, Capcom has confirmed that Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village is 9 foot 6 inches tall, making her the tallest humanoid in RE canon. We'll have to play the game to find out if she also gets to top the non-humanoid ranking in the third act. Top.
Now, I wrote most of that coming up, and I was going to make a joke afterwards about how it was a story about Lady Dimitrescu that was not sexual.
Yeah. See what I did to your story?
Yes.
See what I did to your child?
You added top on the end.
And to be honest, I did want it to say "top me, mommy," but
of course,
I held myself back. Yeah.
The fact that have you seen the comparison graphs
of her and then like the
there's
Xbox fridge or
there's
like what?
No like comparison to like Tyrant and Mr. X and like other Resident Evil humanoids.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know who those people were.
Okay. There are other like previous boss. Okay, Mr. X is the one from RE2 that follows you around all the time.
Oh yeah, X gonna give it to you.
With the trench coat. Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Tyrant was the boss of the first game who had like a giant eye here or whatever. And she's just taller than all of them. And it's like, wow, 9'6" is remarkably tall. That shot of her and her daughters, it's like, I think the daughters are like 6'3". Like
yeah, they're it's kind of feels like they're in a perpetual arms race with themselves, or like legs race, I guess.
I love also that it's the official announcement was including her hat and heels.
Yes.
She's 9'6". That was all the information. And you just know that internally they were like, we need to tell them something. They're so horny for this big lady. Does anyone know how tall she is? And someone's just like, wait, with hat or heels? Like, are we including the hat and heels? Because I got that information for you.
It's like, thank God the art director had concept art that kind of nailed this shit down before we went to actually building models.
I saw someone online say like, hey, don't let that get you down. We could all be 9'6" with hat and heels. Just got to wear big enough heels and a tall enough hat.
What worries me is the idea that the hat and the heels don't come off. Like, they don't, because the guy would have been like, well, she's actually this tall, but then we put heels on her and a hat on her, and then she's this. And it's like, no, it's all part of the same. She will never remove her hat and heels, so you will never get to see her feet.
She like Wolverines her fingernails, I guess X-23, into giant like massive fingernail claws that just biologically do not work. So maybe it's a Bayonetta thing on the hat and the heels. It's all just an extension of her body.
Yeah,
terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's all if it all goes away, it's just more for the mommy milkers, I
The
guess.
price some people will pay. Yeah.